Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new episode of the Skylanders Imaginators Soul Seekers series here on my channel. Today we're going to be tackling the Dragon's Temple because it's about damn time I did such a thing. I mean, the sooner we get through all these story levels, the sooner we can unlock Nightmare Mode, and then we can race through Nightmare Mode in order to gain access to the exclusive Imaginite gear that you get, the Beaten Nightmare Mode. And whilst we're doing that, we're going to explore all of the sensei shrines along the way, earn all of the Imaginite pieces from their respective senseis there, mind you. And hopefully from there, just continue working our way slow but surely. Here with their emphasis is on slow, because this game takes a hot minute to 100%, especially when you get to fall off ledges like I just did. But that was all part of the plan, trust me. I would be doomed if not for having just miserably failed the platforming skills right now. Oh, life, you say? Well, first things first, we've got to destroy those crates. Look at me funny. And then, only then, can I dare to swap out the Chompy Mage soon as the cutscene has been skipped over by pressing best button video game, the skip button. So here we go, Chompy Mage without further ado. Why do I pick Chompy Mage? Well, because he's dumb, stupid, broken, and is practically guaranteed to get through this section. I almost feel sorry for the absolute obliteration the enemies are going to go through, almost, at least. So let's pop this bridge into place, because there's a very exciting treasure back here. It's for Soul, having been seeked out for our very first water scar. It's about damn time we got here, so without further ado, let's preview Grave Clobber. Let's get a hint of what he has to offer. Our first water sensei. And he has one hell of a belly flop right now. Yeah, I do love how they really lean into the wrestling side behind Grave Clobber for his moveset in this game. Switching him out for a Water Skylander based on the fact that he was originally an Earth Skylander was not really that big a deal to me, for villain elemental swaps was something that I very quickly got over when the game was first announced. Well, what should I say, when villains were first announced for different elements for them what they originally were for in Trap Team. It's something that I know it bothered a lot of people right from the get-go, but for me, never really been a problem. I got over it the moment Hood School was announced as a Dark Sky, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. End of story for me, really. I don't think that here we are, almost 10 years later, it's still a healthy thing to be upset over the villains having swapped elements. I mean, come on, get over it. I should also, try much harder to not die, perhaps. That sounds like a good plan. I like that plan, actually. Ooh, but we did assemble all them fellas right there, so that's sweet. But that guy's going to hit me. He's going to hit me from there as well. Which, inconvenient that much. Let's destroy this block as well, because I feel like it, no other reason. I've really tried not to die here, and that is just something easy said and done there, apparently. Because obviously I need to get to the blade in order to take him out. But that I cannot seem to do, because no matter which directions I go, obviously I'm going to eventually wind up running into a red fella. And with a hammer, I'm not going to be able to do much. We've seen already what that results in. Ooh, unless I do something rolling around that, maybe? Well, obviously we can't go there or there. How about doing that? Does that do anything for us? Yes! We got there eventually. Didn't even need to kill that fella there in the end, even though we had it coming for Look At Me Funny. So we got our lockgem unification, which is the most important part. And we also get to seek out the soul of our bow slinger Imaginator, possessing the volley shot soldier abilities. So without further ado, as we preview the bow slinger Imaginator, we're going to find out what element it's going to be.
Imaginators are trained in the ancient art of archery, defeating foes over great distances.
Okay, so it would seem as though our bow slinger Imaginator is going to be of the air element. So as per the norm, what we're going to do is we're going to immediately place onto the portal our air creation crystal. Now I must admit, an air bow slinger does sound pretty darn cool to me, especially since none of the other air Skylanders are bow slingers, so it'll be nice to change up the battle class a little bit compared to the sensei representatives the element has to offer. So without further ado, let's create a bow slinger, as this is a final decision, but we are okay with the idea of there being no way of turning back from here. No take backsies, and that's okay with us, because an air bow slinger is going to be absolutely badass. Or it's going to die to Doomlander at the end of the stage, one or the other. Without further ado, let's randomize our luck. And what we have is something that is my favourite Imaginator thus far, because he has a cement mixer as a chest. You can't go much wrong with a cement mixer as a chest. He mixes cement whilst having buffed up Yeti arms and a rock bottom half. Plus, you know, the facial hair on him is spectacular. You can't go wrong with just anything on screen right now. Everything else on screen wishes it was as awesome as the few pictures on screen that the airbow slinger is currently occupying. With that being said, the element of the area is life, not air, so we have to switch back to Chompy Mage as our life representative, because as per the norm, whenever an element pops up, we must switch out to a scar to correspond to that element. Cannot switch out again until the element of the area changes once more. So let's get this guy out of here. There we go, that's what we're talking about. It's a shame that the experience has to go to waste by it being accepted by Chompy Mage as opposed to our airbow slinger, who's in the need of it much more. But unfortunately, the game doesn't really much care about what I want now, does it? So let's continue taking these folks out because they had it coming, mostly for helping me footing, no other reason. Yeah, here we go. Let's take him out. Let's knock him off the edge, even better yet, because if there's one thing this character needed, it is a knockback ability, apparently. Okay, so let us bring out the busted attack. I don't know which one I'm even talking about. All of them are busted. It doesn't really narrow down which attack of Chompy Mages I'm going to talk about specifically when I say the busted one. Okay, cool, sweet. This is a lot of damage right now. This is so much damage. Wow, I feel sorry for these dudes, almost at least. Like, seriously, they get close to me. It doesn't even matter, because I can just knock them back instantly. Obviously, I can't do that against larger enemies, but the enemy the damage even stacks up so quickly against larger enemies that they are pretty much dead still before they even have a chance at hitting me. I mean, look at this. Boom, let's get him out of here some more. Oh, yeah, I got hit by something. I got hit by a Chompy that wasn't my own Chompy. Sometimes it's particularly hard to tell, but it doesn't matter in the end. He is dead, and we earned ourselves a Imaginate chest, which is going to be another boring con piece, unfortunately, but we have to get all of these before we can start working our way up to a more exciting rarity pieces in the game. Obviously, we have plenty of ultimate gear already because of the chest we've placed in the portal already, so whenever it comes to Imaginators, as soon as we level them up to level 6, we can start equipping all of that ultimate gear, really give them some good buffs along the way. For Chevalier Hat in particular has some great buffs behind it because we boosted its stats when we placed 2 different robos on the Portal of Power. So without further ado, let's also collect this treasure chest. It's a particularly well hidden treasure chest, if I am to add. So let's pop back up here, hit the bounce pad without further ado. Now there's a choice here, and when we come back here we can take the alternate choice that we didn't take the first time around, and we have to play this level twice as an inevitability in order to garner 100% completion due to the speedrun objective. So it would be wiser for us to save the faster path for the second playthrough of the level, which will be the speedrunning objective that we'll be aiming for on our second playthrough. Therefore, we'll save the fire path for last because that is the quicker path. We'll take on the Trial of Ice instead, where water is going to be stronger here. And instead of switching out for our newly seeked out Soul Graveclubber, this is what we have Imaginators for. We're going to swap out for our Water Brawler instead, our very originally named Water Brawler. Because this guy needs himself some experience. He has not nearly the same level count as Graveclubber possesses, though he's still decked out in his Christmas colours from a 12th episode it was seen. I've had months to prepare for this episode, literal months, and yet here I am, not really having prepared for it all too well, given the lack of having changed the colour palette back. But you know what? I think this colour palette really suits the Water Brawler. Of all of the Jolly colour palettes, I think this one was hands down the best one by a country mile at that, so that is why we certainly are keeping it, at least for the moment being, and we're also going to push blocks into place because that's where they need to be. We can't leave them in the incorrect position now, can't we? That would be foolish. So there's also a selfie spot here, which we actually need to bounce back up for, so let's push you into place right there, fella, then we can jump all the way back down here, then from there I believe we can actually jump onto a selfie spot. Bingo! Now, first thing we need to do is actually go into the gallery and delete one of our selfies, but that is the utmost glorious selfie, so we certainly can't be getting rid of that. So we will, however, get rid of Ambush's sword and take that selfie right there because I want the treasure that comes with it. There we go. Now, let's obviously get the bounce pad pushed into place also, for it's not in the correct place, and I would prefer it much more so in the correct place where it's intended to be. Now, what am I supposed to do about that bridge right there? Because obviously we saw the bridge, but I can't see where I'm supposed to find a bridge in order to reunite the bridge with that other bridge over there. I'm not sure if it even counts towards anything though, so what would even be the point in reuniting the bridge pieces in the first place, right? So let's hit that. And so whilst we're up here, we can jump straight back down to the bounce pad. There we go. Well, okay there, my little aquatic friend. That was an interesting one-liner, to say the least, but that's what pretty much all of the Imaginators possess. It's not something unique to our water brawler. But speaking of Imaginators, we now have time for our Undead Knight to take centre stage. Unfortunately, our water brawler right there, we placed one more portal to hopefully give him some experience and level him up. That was asking for too much, because we did not level him up, not even once. We earned a little bit of treasure from the selfie spot. Not even, yeah, for selfie spot, and that's about it that we did, really. I was about to say not the selfie spot when it really was a selfie spot, so me saying not the selfie spot would be an incorrect statement to make, because it was indeed a selfie spot that we got treasure from. And speaking of getting treasure, we got ourselves the second treasure chest of the level right there, so that's pretty fantastic. Without further ado, let's continue to bounce up on these pads right now. After all, that is the name of the asset, after all. It is called a bounce pad, for it is a pad which causes you to bounce. Rather conveniently named that. Okay, so we're going to push that block down and check out where it goes, because it's going to bring this further down, so we can bounce up to here, which has a banana and some treasure, which makes it absolutely worth it. Plus, I just said banana when that was a grape, so I have no idea how I got grapes and bananas confused, but here I am, having done so anyway. Let's push this guy out of here so then we can raise the platform up, because floating islands in the sky, despite them being suspended in midair in the first place, apparently have weight being adjusted by single cubes. Makes total physical sense to me, and it obeys every single law that science possesses. Certainly it does. I say this without a hint of sarcasm or shadow of doubt, because we all know how Skylanders is notorious for its reliance on physics, or should I say, a lack thereof, as we open up the Imaginate chest right now, guard ourselves yet some more common gear, because apparently we haven't seen enough of the baby legs already, so we're going to be receiving more of it, working our way slowly but surely towards that set. Without further ado, let's place onto the portal our Magic Imaginator, because this way we can garner some experience for our swashbuckler over here. Some much needed experience at that, although the swashbuckler is pretty busted, which is great. Especially when I bring out Ninjini's orbs over here, so let's take out some more of these fellas. Let's get hit less as well. That sounds like a good plan. I like that plan, actually. Yeah, hopefully this will be successful at getting us healed up and everything. That would be fantastic if it did that. What's not so fantastic is now that we have to listen to Spyro's rambling whilst enemies are surrounded all around us. It sure is convenient that they can't damage us during the cutscene. So it looks like they really want to, and it's a bit weird seeing the sheep walking around right in frame of the cutscene right now. You know, not a common occurrence that, because usually I avoid these enemies like the plague. But today we're taking them on so I can hopefully get some experience. Can they follow me round so then I can get an instant kill with this block right here? Block. Do the instant kill thing. Okay, sweet. There you go, instant kill. I am losing HP very quickly right now, so this is what I have orbs for. Take my projectiles from the face, you fools. Yeah, last thing I want to do is lose another Imaginator, because we've lost the Tech Sorcerer already, so the Magic Swashbuckler on top of that, that's a big no-no. After all, I want to level these Imaginators up and earn enough Imaginate parts so that then we can really just start letting the creative juices flow, because the more Imaginate parts we have, the more possible character creation combinations we can conjure up. We can build more unique Imaginators with more variety in parts. So let's take him out some more. I love the fact that that has knockback, and it obviously defeats enemies at a 360-degree basis. It's rather convenient, all that. Plus it functions just like Blaze attacks, where you combine it with your other attacks and it makes it that much more powerful and effective. Okay, I'm so glad I did not get hit by him right there, because that would have been awful and annoying. But we got yet some more experience that did not pay off there in the end. It didn't level us up, unfortunately, as close as we are to such a thing. Apparently it's asking for too much. So what we are going to be able to do on the other hand, what isn't asking for too much, is grabbing this here selfie frame. Do not mind if we do. It's for the Bowslinger class, because this entire level is themed around the Bowslinger class. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the Brawn pathway, because this Brawn pathway leads to something that's a little bit more time consuming, just like we did for the Trial of Fire or Ice. We're leaving the quicker one for the Spooderman objective, and senseis are stronger here, which means I can choose any sensei of my pleasing. I could go for the air element, as air is popping up next. It would switch me the time of having to do yet another swap until the one I'm about to do, but I want to save the air element for my air bowslinger, so that then hopefully I can level it up to level 6 before heading into a Doomlander fight, because those buffed up stats will make a huge difference for that fight. So instead I'm going to go with a bowslinger class Skylander all the same, just not obviously my air Imaginator, because I can't play as an Imaginator when the senseis are strong here. After all, that is for rules of the series. So instead, our bowslinger representative is going to be Wolfgang, because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Plus, I'm pretty sure we've already tackled Wolfgang's sensei shrine, so we have the Imaginate gear we need from him for the sake of 100% completion. So losing him is less of a risk, but luckily for us, given that this is Wolfgang we're talking about here, we're not going to lose him anyway. He's too badass for this. I mean, look at that. I almost feel sorry for these fools right now, taking us on, thinking they stand a chance when they don't. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. I mean, obviously there's more enemies than that, because having such few enemies is asking too much. But in the end, it's still not even going to matter. Well, it's going to matter if my game keeps freezing like that. I was very worried I was going to take a hit because of that rubbish, but fortunately we did not. And say this game, despite it being on the more powerful PlayStation 5 compared to PS4, it seems to have frame rate issues a lot more frequently on this console, I guess because it wasn't originally designed for this hardware. A lot of PS4 games don't necessarily play better on PlayStation 5. Though a lot of the games specifically tailored towards the PlayStation 4 got specific upgrades in preparation for PlayStation 5, so in those cases, such as The Last of Us Part 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, the PlayStation 4 versions run much better on the PlayStation 5 than they do with PlayStation 4, but you don't even need to play the PlayStation 4 versions through PlayStation 5, because they have PlayStation 5 versions of their own, which are the superior means in which to play either of those games. Okay, cool, let's just use our radios to our advantage here, even though those guys can shoot right through them, which is annoying in and of itself. But why wouldn't cheap enemies be annoying? That is basically the point of their existence, to be annoying, no other reason. Okay, we should also note that I did off-camera put Taiko on for Portal for the first time, so despite obviously him not officially having debuted in the series yet, we are going to get a gift from him when we go to the Imaginate Vault next, but for now we're going to focus on defeating this final enemy right now. Jeez, Wolfgang, that was overkill much. So that's going to be yet another Imaginate chest as a reward, so let's reap the fruits of our labour without further ado. It's going to be some bunny ears. They'll look fine on my Imaginator, to say the least. They'll look mighty fine. Without further ado, let's grab all that treasure as well. Even more fruits of our labour, so as per the norm, we definitely do not mind if we do. You know, if there's treasure on screen, there's no way I'm not grabbing it, after all. So let's pop out here, and then we can finally head into that section where the air element will be stronger. The very section I was alluding to, where our air bowslinger is hopefully going to level up a bunch. Now obviously we can't have it get hit too frequently because these enemies are tough and deal a lot of damage, but fortunately I'll be leveling up so quickly that hopefully in the process of leveling up I'll defeat everything around me. Oh, we have a storm cloud and obviously a bow shot, because what else would you expect from a bowslinger other than a bow shot now, right? So let's pop on up on the bounce pad. That is when I actually collide with the hitbox of it there, mind you. So let's also grab treasure up there, because if we destroy crates and garner some treasure, that'll put us that much more closer to our glorious upgrades, mind you. And the more we can upgrade our abilities, obviously the better. If we could get an upgrade before we even go into the bowslinger Doomlander fight, then that'll give us even greater odds of defeating it unscathed. Because, yes, as I mentioned earlier, we've lost the tech sorcerer already, so I'm trying not to lose more Imaginators, but obviously trying doesn't correlate to success, not in my case. Not ever has it done that for me. Game throwing me a bone is just clearly asking for too much. But that being said, there's more back behind this bridge over here, so I'm going to grab every piece of treasure I can. Every little counts and all that. I'm from England, of course I'm going to quote Tesco. After all, Tesco is a definition of our culture. Our culture would not exist without Tesco. That's just how British culture works. Deal with it. So we get to next up place Bamboo down here, and then there's also going to be more stuff coming up. So yay for more stuff, I guess. Content is content. Yes, just as I thought, there's going to be that metal one, but we can't really get the metal one first because we need to bring over the wooden one beforehand, because otherwise if we move the metal bridge first, we won't be able to get back to where the wooden one can be found. You got to cut me some slack here. It's been ages since I've actually tackled this puzzle, because usually I play through this level as fast as possible to get the pain and torture over with, but today we're going through 100%, so naturally that's going to slow me down a little, especially when my air bowslinger has the equivalent speed of a snail. So let's pop this into place, where on the opposite side we can garner ourselves some treasure. Definitely do not mind if we do, and I think this might not be the only case where we need the wooden bridge here. We're about to find out after I grab the metal one, and then obviously when we follow it around we're going to need another one of the bridges. I just can't remember whether it's the bamboo or the wood that we need, so we'll find out once we get around there, mind you, because again, I feel as though the last time I tackled this puzzle, the last time I bothered with Dragon Temple to 100% was probably 5 years ago. It is the wooden one, so it certainly is a good thing we've brought it over already, but with the metal bridge in place, it means we can grab the wooden one and bring it over there, because we have access to the other side with the might of the bridge having already been laid there. Very convenient, very convenient indeed. What's even more so convenient is the treasure chest we're about to grab, because that is exactly what we need to upgrade our bowslinger right here. But is there going to be enough treasure for our initial upgrade is the question. Oh yes, it certainly is. There's going to be enough money for the initial upgrade and then some. I don't know why I'm grabbing this bridge for a second time. We don't need it. So without further ado, let's head into our upgrades and start upgrading some of these powers. Starting, of course, with the long shot. Yes, the upgrade has been purchased. Thank you, game, for informing me. I would not have figured it out on my own had you not very explicitly stated it in the top right-hand corner, which the viewers can't even see because of the graphic being in the way there. You know, I'm actually throwing you guys a bone of my own by blocking that, because there's not exactly much exciting that happens in the top right-hand corner. So by cutting it out of the screen entirely, I'm just sparing you from completely unnecessary details. You're welcome. I know I'm just good like that. Ow! Well, that hurt a lot. Now I need to really defeat these guys. Just the quicker I do so, the more experience I can earn. Watch out for projectiles, because they are everywhere. I repeat, they are everywhere. They just have to be everywhere. They can't be anywhere but everywhere. Boy, where's the experience level up when we really need it? I've got to play this so careful. You know, lead into the traps a bit more. Okay, here we go. We can finally get some damage in whilst they're not firing projectiles at us. It's okay when I fire projectiles, but when they do it, that's a big no-no. How dare they? Oh, heal me! Level me up! Don't do any of that, in fact, because I'm going to get no fucking invincibility frames, and I'm going to be slowed down to the point to where I have nowhere I can move to. That was rubbish, but unfortunately in a situation like that there's nothing I can do, and it looks like we've already lost our second Imaginator to absolute, as I put it earlier, rubbish. Absolute rubbish. So what we're going to do here is obviously we need to switch out for an air scanner, seeing it as the current element of the area is air. But after we're done with that, we are going to absolutely rip that Doomlander a new part and avenge our newly formed Imaginator, which did not last very long in the series. It didn't even make it past its debut episode. But at least we get to usher in the debut of Wildstorm at long last. It feels like forever ago that we actually seeked out his soul, because it was, you know, we did have the several month break between episodes at one point. And now we choose to shield the attack. It could have possibly happened when our Imaginator was formed. Now, could it? That's asking for too much. Oh, that poor air bow slinger. It deserved so much better, but the video game said no. Cool, let's just destroy all these fellas. Yes, now that's some very satisfying revenge right there. They often say that revenge never makes you feel better. I'm sorry to say, but those people are wrong. This is making me feel so much better. Boom, baby. Let's say if it weren't for the fact that those projectiles, like, literally moved me into the attacks and I had no invincibility frames, so it was literally one attack after the other, there was nothing I could have done there. Like, if I actually kept my momentum and kept moving the way I was intending to, rather than all my momentum not only being lost but being pushed back into the melee attacks, we would have been fine. But instead, the game pulled off every stop it possibly could to cheese me out of that death right there. I mean, all I was trying to do was gather up enough experience, level up, and then hopefully everything around me would have been defeated all at once, but unfortunately I was asking too much. So then I tried to avoid all the attacks, but then the projectile happened and pushed me into the melee attacks in the process. If I could have played it better, I wouldn't have gone for the experience. But then if I didn't go for the experience, there would have been no chance of me leveling up and defeating everything around me in an instant. And leveling up and defeating everything around me in an instant was pretty much the only chance I stood right there. Anyway, I should stop ranting and rambling and start fighting well, because this is not what fighting well looks like, and at this rate I'm going to lose Wildstorm as well. We don't want to do that now, do we? This is what I get for tackling a hard difficulty with Imaginators that have only just been debuted into the game. And this is what I get. I keep on forgetting that this game has a completely unfair difficulty spike towards its latter half. And you know what? I meant to take that hit. Taking that hit was all part of my plan, because in the end I still came out victorious, did I not? Had I not been hit there, then I would be doomed. I probably would have lost every single one of my Skylanders to the Bowslinger Doomlander, and our run of the game would have just ended here. But no, instead I tanked that hit like an absolute champ, and now we get to continue with the rest of the game, thanks to my strategical planning right now. So let's be hitting that gong right now. And continue with a level where we have more Doomlanders to fight, because clearly we haven't seen enough of them already. There's one thing in this series that I haven't missed through our month-long break right now. So without further ado, let's pop through here. And yes, whilst Imaginators are stronger here, the only thing that overrules that law is the law to match the class of the Doomlander. And since the class of the Doomlander is a Bowslinger, it means we have to fight against it as a Bowslinger. And in that case, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be Wolfgang, because let's be honest, he stands the greatest chance against him. And I'm pretty sure we've also tackled his shrine already. So those are two reasons to pick Wolfgang over the other guys. I mean, Robo is also great, and his attacks hit through the walls. But we don't want to risk losing him because he hasn't tackled the Sensei Shrine yet. At least I don't believe that he has. I don't think he's even debuted in this series as of just yet, to be perfectly honest. I do remember Igknight Soul, obviously, for the 12th episode, because that was when we was talking about the Robo giveaway at the time. The time of the 12 days of Skylands, that was, because that was what the 12th episode was celebrating. One of the 12 days of Skylands where these rockets really want to be fired into my face, but I will not allow it! Okay, let's get these speakers set up once more. And we knocked off a piece of gear. That certainly is convenient. Yeah, sure thing there, Kaos. Whatever you have to say, not that we've been listening to what you have to say, because as per the norm, we're going to skip over the unnecessary deep stew with the might and awesomeness of the best button of a video game right now. Ow! That hurt. That hurt a lot. That hurt even more! Stop hurting me when I'm not even anywhere close to the hitboxes. This game really is cheesing me now. Obviously, it's getting its revenge for how many times I've cheesed it. You know, the game seems to love its cheese as much as I do, which honestly I don't think was possible given my love for cheese. But here I am being cheesed by a game I love to cheese so much. No, I think I'm going to keep hitting it there, Kaos. You know, I just feel like it and all. So watch out for the explodey thingamabobs, because the explodey thingamabobs is what has cheesed me plenty already. Oh dear, it's the third and final phase, which you think would be a good thing, but the third and final phase for this fight means sheep enemies. And we've already established how awful the sheep enemies are in this level. They are so cheap and annoying, and they just don't die, because them dying is asking too much. Okay, luckily this is what I have a pillar for. It's a very convenient pillar for the sake of duck and cover. Okay, let's take out them sheep enemies already, because I can. I don't even need to be aiming at them. That's what I have my speakers for. Why does there have to be another one? Who keeps giving the game permission to keep spawning in more and more sheep enemies, especially when I am down to 26 health already? Do you not think I've suffered enough here, video game? Especially when their projectiles can power through any of my attacks. Literally any of them. It's rubbish. Rubbish, I tell ya. Okay, cool. Now that they're gone, we can focus on the Doomlander, but I'll respawn in as soon as we get the Doomlander down to enough health again, which will be very, very quickly with this guy's power levels, mind you. Okay, watch out for hits again. I mean, not really there, fella. I'm not really seeing the glory in this. After all, you just keep running and hiding behind the sheep enemies all the time, which is not cool there, fella. Not cool at all. Okay, the sheep enemies are back. I repeat, the sheep enemies are back. Oh dear, I was way too close to that projectile right there. I saw my life flashing before my eyes. I really don't want to lose the second character here. We've already lost our air Bowslinger. Is that not enough blood for you, game? What will it take to finally satisfy your lust for blood? What will it take?
Not so easy to dodge those
Okay, come on, let's get him, 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 let's get him. Oh dear, watch out for the explosion. I almost missed it there. The explodey bit. I don't want to get hit by the explodey bit. I don't want to get hit by any of these bits because I'm down to 27 health. It's kind of hard to live when you have that little health to go around there, mind you. Okay, I was very worried that the lingering projectiles from the bow slinger there was going to hit me, but fortunately for me, I was spared, so that was fan-flippin-tastic, so to say. Yeah, sure thing, whatever you have to say there, Kaos. If you guys think getting past the air section is tough, getting past the quick shot Doomlander unscathed is even tougher than that. So for the next level, the abandoned amusement park, we're going to do the exact same as what we did for Golden Arcade, just avoid seeking out the soul of the Imaginator so that then they don't have to fight the Doomlander at the end. In fact, we're going to plow through that level as fast as possible, try to get the speedrun bits for the first time around, and then we can go through it, complete every other objective, and then just leave the level after we've done so because of the auto-saving objectives. You know, as soon as you get the stars that we're after, you can leave the level at any point you wish afterwards. I apologize for stuttering right there, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be quiet and let you guys enjoy the cutscene. And by that, I mean we're just going to skip it entirely, because I would not wish this cutscene upon my own worst enemy. Okay, we're now back with that cutscene having been said and done. Without further ado, let's grab these wings and get the freak out of here. My 27 health just can't handle it. And luckily that's what we have, a very convenient door placed in front of us for. So what we need to do now is glide down to Skylanders with a selfie spot that I'm just not even going to bother with after all. Usually we like tackling those for the gold benefits, but this time around there is no real gold benefit to Wolfgang, who's already fully upgraded. So without further ado, let's usher in the debut of yet another air sensei here, Bad Juju, because I just really want some new Imaginite gifts. What can I say? Plus, we also get to increase the level cap of our Imaginators, which we really need to start working upon. For the sooner we get our Imaginators to that higher level cap, the sooner we can start tackling things on Nightmare mode. Plus, it also helps that we get a swashbuckler secret technique. That is much welcome indeed, because this is actually the first time I'm placing a swashbuckler sensei onto the portal. I'm only just realising this. Obviously, Aurora and Chain Reaction are both relatively recently souls that have been seeked out, and I've never been put up a portal yet either. So yes, it's very cool to be unlocking that swashbuckler secret technique right now. What's also cool is grabbing this experience that Bad Juju doesn't even need. If this was our air bow slinger right now, this experience would be fantastic, but that's asking too much. Our air bow slinger being alive, that ain't happening. Anyway, I'm trying to remember right now if any of these islands have a treasure chest on them. I do not believe that they do, so I'm hoping that therefore all of the treasure chests would have been found already, because then I don't need to worry about collecting them during our speed run through the level at a later date. Obviously, we haven't collected Patrol Radio yet, because that's down the Brains pathway, which we will also be tackling for the speed run through this level. So there's a Imaginite chest that I'm in desperate need of, because we are still missing hundreds upon hundreds of Imaginite parts. So therefore we collect those, including baby hair. We can complete sets and garner ourselves that little bit closer to that 100% completion I so am in desperate need of in order to complete this series, because this series would be incompletable without it, might I remind you. So without further ado, let's fire off ourselves in the cannon once again. Yeah, you can't get much more glorious than that now, can you? Plus, there's plenty of treasure to boot, which for Bad Juju is not really going to the greatest most cause, because she's fully upgraded already. But again, I don't exactly have a Doomlander to use the treasure on instead now, do I? So let's grab all that treasure right there, head down to the middle island after a little bit of exploration of these floating islands, and then obviously after that having been said and done, we can finally bring conclusion to this level via the final gliding wings down here. That's pretty sweet indeed.
Level complete.
Oh yeah, level has been completed. We got every single one of the collectibles except for Patrol Radio, and obviously we miserably failed the No Lives Lost objective, but when we come back through here we can get not only that, but we can get it on top of the all areas have been found. The two we missed are obviously from the split pathways earlier. Then we can also hopefully complete the speedrun in one fell swoop, as we also collect the Patrol Radio down the hidden area, which we did not take this first time around. I find it funny how there's advertisements for the creator app in the loading screens when the creator app is no longer available. It's been delisted on all of the apps right there. Why is this only just... Oh, it's only just haven't spawned in because we ushered in the debut of Wildstorm here, which obviously, the moment he's placed on support for the first time, we unlock the Cursed Tiki Temple. But that is something to be dealing with in a future episode. For now, let's roll that outro without further ado. I cannot, in good conscience, end off this video without first thanking all of my incredible channel members whose continued support help make these videos possible. Without them, these videos would be near impossible to make, so from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate every last one of them. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, there are plenty of options on screen now to explore, and please consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. On that note, this video is coming to an end, so thank you so much as always for watching. Until the next video arises, peace!